all. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. I'm going to sound like an email. I hope this message finds you well. How tired do you get of hearing that? But no, honestly, I hope you guys are doing well. Not quite sure where you all are in the country, in the world, but it is great to have you all here and to be here with you guys. I wanted to Uh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why this ends up happening, but every time I think I'm gonna have it down, I put the hair down. As soon as I get ready to put the hair down and get ready to move forward, and I'm gonna put it up. I'm sorry, guys. But uh, I wanted to touch base today on why good nurses burn out faster than everyone else. And if you've ever been told you're a good nurse, this video is for you. You're not just the nurse who clocks in and clocks out, but you're the nurse who notices everything. You're the nurse who patients trust. You're the one that your coworkers lean on. Because the truth is, good nurses don't burn out because they care too little. They burn out because they care too much in systems that don't protect them. And if burnout has made you question yourself lately, I want to talk to that part of you today, sir, ma'am. So, when we say good nurse, we're not talking about perfection, not at all. We're talking about nurses who feel responsible even when they're not. Think about their patients and think about patients who they've encountered and come across well after the shift ends. And nurses who notice small changes that others miss. These are the same nurses who struggle to say no, who feel guilty when they rest. We spoke about that yesterday. And these nurses are often recognized and praised early in their careers. You'll hear things like, "Oh my gosh, you're so dependable. I knew we can count on you. Oh my gosh, you really care about your patients. Oh my gosh, you're just so amazing and great at what you do." Honestly, it feels good at first to hear that. Who wouldn't want to hear that? Who wouldn't want to hear they're an amazing nurse? But praise like that can, over time, turn into pressure. It becomes a thing where this is the foundation that's been set regarding the type of nurse you are. And guess what? It's like that becomes your benchmark now. Now you are expected to live up to that every time you clock in. You're not expected to have bad days. You're not expected to have off days. You're expected to always show up at 100% when this is who you've been. It unfortunately sets this precedence that everyone comes to rely on. So, why do these particular traits lead to burnout? For one, overgiving becomes expected, it becomes the expectation. At some point, being helpful stops being optional, if you know what I mean. At some point, that help that you give, everyone expects you to do that and expects you to be that person. No one is asking you this anymore. It's an assumption that's made that, oh, if Crystal's there, this is going to get done. If Crystal's there, this is what's going to happen. And if blank is there, insert your name. Insert the name of that nurse who you know who shows up like that at all times. They'll schedule you to work because they know you're going to say yes. They already know you're going to say yes. And you're leaned on, honestly, a lot of times, and it's not because you're incompetent. You're absolutely competent. Absolutely. But you're leaned on also because you don't complain. And after a while, the lines between being generous and helpful and then being obligated, that line goes away. And again, now it becomes the expectation. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Another reason you'll find good nurses who burn out faster is because we take on emotional labor without recovery. When I say that, I mean you don't just perform tasks and do things to get through your shift. You carry the emotion that's associated with it as well. So you carry a patient's fear about a diagnosis, about an operation. You carry a family's grief for a loved one who is no longer here, or one whom they're coming to terms with no longer being here or showing up differently than the person they've always known. It shows up as team stress, being part of the team that's on for that shift and encountering everything that's thrown your way. It also, you also take on moral distress, where you have your moral beliefs and your moral compass points you towards doing something a particular way. And either the patient's beliefs, the family's beliefs, the system itself that you're working in doesn't allow you, it doesn't allow your beliefs and your moral compass to align where they are and where that is. So most nurses were never taught how to release that emotional weight. We weren't. We were definitely taught how to pick it up, but not how to put it back down. How to take it in, but not how to ground ourselves so that we can release that from ourselves. So, as nurses, you don't burn out from caring. You burn out from never having the opportunity to put that care down. It's just the truth of the matter. When you think of another reason why good nurses burn out faster, it's because a lot of the time the moral injury, it hits harder. There's just something about being that person who you figure, you hear people who say, I love hard. Things always end up hurting me more because I love hard. I really give it my all. When you know what good care should look like and you can't provide it, it hurts. It hurts, especially when you're able to say, what would this look like if that was me lying in that bed? What would this look like if it was me or my loved one, someone I truly care about, receiving the care that I'm giving today? Would I be happy? Would I be satisfied? Would I be pleased? It's hard when those don't line up. It's very hard. And it you feel it deeply. You really do. Sometimes it looks like short staffing when the unit or the facility just isn't staffed the way you think it would need to be in order for you to provide the best possible care. Sometimes it's the pressure of not having enough time to do what's needed. And sometimes it even looks like an unsafe nurse to patient staffing ratio when you feel like you're just taking care of way too many people for them to get the care they truly deserve. And this is what I mean when I say this isn't stress, it's moral injury. And good nurses always feel it the deepest. So, with many nurses, nursing isn't just what they do, it's who they are. So, when burnout shows up, it feels very personal. You don't say to yourself, or you don't think, oh, I'm just burned out. You think, what's wrong with me? Something is up here. What's wrong with me? But burnout itself, it's not a character flaw. Burnout is the cost of caring deeply in systems that don't necessarily care back. This is why it's so important that we have alignment for ourselves. Sorry, this thing is what in the world? There we go. Okay. Alignment. This is why alignment is so important. I will say, this is a point where shift and shifting can begin. You find that sustainable nurses who are able to remain in this amazing profession for so many years, they don't care less, they just care differently. So they learn that boundaries are necessary and are not selfish, that rest is a given, it's a skill, it's something that you need to have, it's a non negotiable. Great nurses who are sustainable learn that saying no is not abandonment. Just because you choose to say no does not mean that you're abandoning a coworker, even a loved one. Sustainable nurses understand that their sustainability protects patients too. And it's true. If you are well rested and grounded and able to show up as your best you every time you clock in, guess what? Your patients benefit from that. So you don't end up losing compassion as a sustainable nurse when you protect yourself. And that's what we have to get back to. We have to get back to protecting ourselves. We have to get back to preserving ourselves because we deserve that. So if you've been wondering whether burnout means you're just not cut out for nursing anymore, I want you to hear this clearly. Clearly, you and your goodness and who you are is not the problem. It's the lack of support that is. That's the problem. So this space is and will always remain a judgment-free zone where we uplift each other, where we grow as nurses, where we show newer nurses who are new to the profession, who are still trying to get their sea legs, see where they fit in, if this is something that's really for them, This is where we have an opportunity to bring them in under our wings, especially those of us who've been doing this for a minute. We know exactly how rewarding it is, but we also know how easy it is to get lost in the profession. And we don't want anyone to be lost. We don't want anyone to feel unseen. I certainly don't want anyone to feel unseen and lost in this profession. So I invite you to answer this question if you feel comfortable. What part of being a good nurse feels hardest right now? There's a lot going on, not just in our local facilities, but around the country, around the world. And honestly, if we don't band together, if we don't support each other, we're going to see more and more nurses leaving the profession. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So if you feel this conversation feels like something you've needed, please subscribe. Please share it with another nurse. Please comment below. Let's have a dialogue. I don't want this to be a monologue where I just come every day and I'm just talking to you and I don't have a chance to interact with you in the comment section. Please, please leave a comment. This space is for nurses who want to stay without disappearing. And you don't have to disappear. You are more than just needed. You're wanted. You're wanted in this profession. Your patients may not have the ability to tell you, but I'm telling you, we want you here. We want the best that we know you give your patients every time you show up. But I don't want you to do that or be that in a state where you feel like you're a shell of yourself, a shell of who you once were. That's not what we do here. So please, I invite you to come back again. Like I said, we're doing this every day. So I will be back tomorrow where I'll share some more. And we're going to be able to just really talk about the lie that burnout tells nurses. And what's that lie? That we're just lazy. Couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. But we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So until then, I want you guys to take care. Really, take care. Be well. Care for yourself because you can't care for anyone else until you care for yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, that's okay. Come back here. That's what I'll show you how to do and what to do to be able to make sure that as a nurse, you're not just surviving, but you're thriving. So until tomorrow, be well, take care, and I'll see you all then.